and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Team Punkcast racing on GTA 5. Travelling, this is often a little bit of a dangerous road, but it's made considerably worse when an AI car decides it's had enough of you, turns all across the lanes of traffic to torpedo the Reinhardt. Not only off the road, but an unlucky bounce on the hillside and a rock would leave it a very soggy estate car. That is one mean AI car. Said Chosen One is up next, and, well, they were rather the chosen one in all of this. They managed to spin around on the snow, you spin out with your car, fair enough. The police then decide to ram the F40, pinning it between both vehicles, and now, with a wanted level, they get shotgunned in the face. FailRace Police Department, sometimes efficient. RGB Nitro up next on Saints Row 3. Now, they are calling in a vehicle. On Cyberpunk, we've seen this go wrong many times. Other games, it normally goes okay, but no, this time, it turns up, stops just long enough for them to head towards it, for it to then boot it and jump into the water. It just didn't want to be driven, apparently. Tiger is up next on Watch Dogs Legion. Now, the little drone things in this game are fantastic fun. They're great for sort of fly you around, get you to rooftops, and all of that sort of thing. Really, often, and I'm going to say often here, very helpful to get you into useful positions. This one, though, is a lot less helpful. The problem is, when they go to climb off it, they, I guess, stand on the sort of rotors, whatever, and it just flings them across the map. In all my times playing the game, never came across that one, but turns out they're quite dangerous. Mini-Ops is up next on Far Cry 5 with, well, it's a haunted truck. Yep. For some reason, Far Cry games in general, actually, it's been in a few of them, just physics goes quite mad, and bodies, whether they be people or whether they be animals, have a habit of getting stuck in trucks and just doing silly things. This one to the point where now the player can't even drive the truck. You can't physically move it forward, it's just completely stuck there. Up next, we have still guns on Jurassic World Evolution. Now, they have got some tour cars driving through an enclosure, and, well, the problem is one of the tour cars, for reasons I don't quite know, falls off the rail. Now, in theory, the car should still be able to drive, and it does try to make its way out, but it doesn't really know what it's doing. So it has driven itself into a wall, and it is now stuck, while some big dinosaurs are hanging around. Now, in theory, I would have thought the dinosaurs would have wanted, you would have wanted to get out the gate. Either the dinosaurs get out or somebody controlled close the gate, because that's not really ideal. I also think like an airlock system should probably have been put in place here, but maybe that's just me. Either way, the next tour group are coming through as the dinosaurs decide to start having a fight. That's less good. One of the cars get through. Still, our intrepid explorers are stuck on the wall, and they're spinning the wheels. They haven't figured out how to get in reverse yet. One of the cars has got attacked by a dinosaur and then swatted around and almost fallen over. Well, that's having a bad day, as it is stuck in all of it. I guess a swipe actually from a dinosaur, I guess, at least pushed out of the way of the fight. The dinosaur in the fight that's losing is having a worse day in all of this before the spare dinosaur decides it's had enough of there being a car in the enclosure. What we're going to do is push it out. Yes, it took a dinosaur to get the car out of the enclosure rather than the driver. I think we need new drivers in that park, certainly. Tin Can Sam is up next on Beam. They are driving, this is the Formula 4 mod, fantastic mod, great vehicle to go driving with. It's very fast, it's very grippy. However, it is a very low-slung formula car, and, well, turns out if you hit the little curb markings, it might, disintegrate. I think they're supposed to be like half tyres stuck on the side of the road, which is what you would have had on sort of the classic circuits. That I think is the most disintegrated I've seen the Formula 4 car. It's a horrific shunt from just turning it a little bit too soon and clipping that tyre. We have Joe up next on Euro Truck Simulator. Racing on Euro Truck Simulator multiplayer is good fun. It often goes quite poorly, and in this instance, well, it ends up with Joe bouncing and doing a little bit of a grind on a rail before falling off, and that's the end of that. That's going to be a rather awkward recovery. I'm not quite sure how the tow truck is going to rescue that. JDM Snow Monkey is up next on Gran Turismo with the luckiest finish I have seen for a long time. Launches the Viper, ends up completely spinning it, grabs reverse, gets pushed across the line by the Subaru and would take victory. That section is dangerous, but that's a hell of a finish. Finally, we have Simon on Gran Turismo 7. Now, this at the start of a multiplayer race. and one of the cars hasn't gone. Now, I presume maybe they disconnected in the loading screen or something, but the AI just doesn't know what to do. I don't know why it hasn't moved that car forward, but so the top 3 are gone. The car in 4th is stopped, and of course no one's supposed to overtake before the start line, so everybody is just stacking up there. The leaders are busy going around doing their rolling start, as you would expect. Everything is all fine over there, but the rest of them are all just parked here. And the player, as a player, you can't do anything here. There is 0 you can do to get these to move whatsoever. A couple of the cars actually were in reverse, so when the leaders crossed the line and released, it releases everybody here. The poor Subaru, for some reason, was in reverse. I don't know why the game decided it should be in that. But it got them released. It did make things, I mean, it's safe to say, completely chaotic. I mean, from further back, it's just, you've got the rest of the field is basically punt. This is what would happen if you just started all the cars almost in just a line. You know, like we start in GTA races. This is kind of the Gran Turismo equivalent. I don't quite know why. I don't know, maybe there was a mandatory pit stop or something. Some cars dove into the pit lane immediately in this one, possibly. But yeah, it's weird. It is very peculiar, and that car was stuck on the grid as well. Thankfully, I guess, for the sake of the race, while it's made a complete mess of it, at least the potential hazard is out of the way. I don't know whether this game would... I don't know whether the car stuck there would have collisions or not, or whether it would be in some sort of a ghost mode. But, yeah, you've just got a random ghost Alfa Romeo for you in that one. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.